book that we're
And
going to
we're
do for
live.
me.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Everyone
All right,
missed the strip show.
Damn
Hold
it.
on, I'm Mr. Rogersing it.
Aw,
It's a
yeah.
beautiful day in the neighborhood.
I can't wait to read this. It's a collaborative. Ooh.
Hey, Amelia, can I borrow your sweatshirt? Of course I can. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're super pro here tonight, everyone.
Super
Yeah.
proud.
Yeah.
Ness, you're running it. It's
All
your
right.
book.
Hey, it's my guys. I have a book and it's beautiful. I'm really excited.
Yay.
So, welcome to this installment of the Pancake Sex Book Club. I am Ness, normally the angry, bitter one, but I am not tonight. This is really exciting for me. So, first we have Mel. Say hi.
Hi.
What are you drinking tonight, Mel, if you're drinking?
I have a really cold tea latte
Aw, yeah.
that I grabbed with me on my way from work to here.
Nice. Bad face. What do you got?
I got a caramel chai. It's pretty
You
good.
guys are disappointing me tonight with your
I'm sorry. If I drank because I was up at 4 for work, like, I would be asleep in like 15 minutes.
I mean,
You
it's
just hear like thunk, and you just see the top of my head.
I'm okay with that. We can hold on while you go get some tequila. It's fine.
Oh, but I have opinions.
Oh, good.
I get to meet you. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited.
We traded spaces.
All right, Amelia, tell us what you're drinking and redeem.
Again, as I often do on this show, I am drinking hot chocolate with whipped cream vodka, and it's
Oh.
amazing,
Oh.
and you don't know anything about food.
False.
That's all I'm saying. It's also like low-carb hot chocolate, so
No.
I know,
Asian
but I
recipe.
can have. It's from a packet from the Kroger store.
Ew.
Hard recipe. No, it's not good. It's not good, but it's better than water. So there you go.
Water with whipped cream tequila.
Water with whipped cream tequila. I don't know. That might be good too.
That could be delicious. You never know.
I mean, you
It
might
could
as well
be.
just pour like
Why
it
not
over
just
ice
drink it?
cubes.
Yeah, right.
It is kind of
Go
like
for
that.
it.
All right, we have a special guest, the nicest person I know,
Oh
Belle.
God, I hate you so much. I just so much hate you, Ness. Just so much.
You're welcome. What are you drinking?
I'm also drinking hot chocolate, but not low carb.
Yeah, she got the good stuff.
It's got real stuff.
Tequila in it.
Well, I am drinking No Holdsies by local. Who is breathing really hard?
I know.
Yeah.
Someone's really excited.
I just like, I don't know if you noticed, but I like dashed out of the room and came back. I'm like, no, I'm still here.
Breathing intensifies. I know, this drink is really kind of crazy too. It's called No Holdsies, and it's beer aged in freaking bourbon barrels. So,
Ooh,
yeah,
fancy.
I know. I got classy, guys. It's awesome.
Does it taste like bourbon?
It has a definite bourbony flavor that I enjoy.
Neat.
It is neat. From Saxpahaw, North Carolina. So there you go.
Local, even.
It is local.
That's
She
the
likes local
hipsterest
beers.
thing I've ever heard today.
The
Local
funny thing
beer.
I've ever heard was people half a state away trying to pronounce Saxpahaw.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be able to say it, and I live one state south, so
Well, it's
No.
spelled kind of weird, but it's fun.
yeah.
Moving on, people. So we read The Palace Job by Patrick Weeks. Well, some of us read The Palace Job by Patrick Weeks. I did.
I did.
I also did a really long time ago.
Woo!
Great.
I didn't finish
I
it, but
did.
not. I just didn't
Jade.
finish because time pending is why I didn't finish
Uh-huh.
it. So
So,
It might be good.
I mean, it's basically a heist story for those who didn't read it. Nothing, I enjoyed the book, and I'm going to say something mean, but nothing super original with the plot, but it was well written and really enjoyable, and the dialogue was snappy, so I enjoyed that.
Well, I think plots don't have to be like original if it has good dialogue and just interesting characters. Period. Like that's all it takes to engage
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
to an extent. You know what I mean? Like you don't need
Yeah.
to be overly innovative because oftentimes the overly innovative books are terrible.
Yeah.
First
Very
go
true.
or two around.
Yes. So does everybody want to go around and say what they thought about the 5 pages that some of us read?
Yes. I'm like head of the class. I read the whole book.
Overachiever.
I'm shocked that Amelia read the whole book. Yeah.
Who wants to start?
I'll go because I have overall positive things to say.
What?
I did struggle to get into it, and it took longer than I like for me to get engaged with the plot. And I'm sure that Izzy will talk about some of the problems I had for that. And but I will say about 50% in, it really hooked me. The plot sped up quite a bit, and we went from sort of introductory to now we're in the middle of this like leverage style heist thing, and by that time I had finally figured out everyone's name and everything was good, and we were actually into the meat of the plot, and by the time they were at sort of end game breaking into the party and the palace, I was totally into it, and it was a really fun sort of downhill slide on the other end. Hard to get engaged with, but once it was in, it was a really fun sort of clever, like lots of bad stuff happens, but then lots of good stuff happens, and it moves really fast, and you never quite know what he's going to throw in next, and I thought that was really fun and really neat. So overall, I enjoyed it very much.
All right, Iz, you want to go next?
I don't read fantasy a lot, I guess, is my first disclaimer. Like, I like my, like, fantasy RPGs, but I don't necessarily read the books. And, like, Game of Thrones and stuff like that, I did more the audiobook. And I think that was my mistake here, is I didn't do the audiobook, and I'm reading the book, struggling with names, figuring out where places are, and what place is what, because there were, like, 3 places that had almost the same name within the first, like, 20% of the book. Does that sound right? Like,
Yeah.
Okay, it was, like, Rose and then something whatever. And I was like, wait, where are they going? And so I just, every time I picked it up, I kept just getting frustrated and either falling asleep because I just would keep rereading the same part, or just putting it down because I kept getting annoyed with the names. I liked the characters, though. Like, right from the get-go, I was very interested in the characters, whose names I can't keep straight because I think I just needed the audiobook to, like, give me that more identifying factor to them, like with someone actually doing voices. But, like, I really liked the female characters so far in it. I really don't like the villain in the beginning. I don't know if they stay the villain, but the people, like, chasing them, I didn't like. Like, they were just kind of annoying. And then I also felt that they jumped suddenly to new characters without any forewarning or kind of, like, squiggly spacing to tell me that we're transitioning to somebody new. And I spent, like, a couple minutes like, wait, who's this now? So those are my main issues. I am going to finish it, and I'll probably do, like, a little mini vlog thing when I do to give it updated opinions. But that's a lot of why I struggled with it.
Yeah, it definitely, I like the book at all, but it has definitely had a little bit of Russian novel syndrome with some of the names of the characters, like the unicorn. And my first question is just, Patrick, please, I need a pronunciation guide. Patrick.
Yeah. Like I said, I think that's why if I had done the audiobook, I probably would have finished it. And
Yeah, I just
really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do.
Yeah.
One thing I like about George R. R. Martin over other fantasy writers is that he will give them nicknames and then immediately start using the nickname much more often than the full apostrophed 87 consonant name, which I really appreciate because then I can follow, like, Daenerys becomes Dany, and I'm like, okay, that I can handle. You know, it does kind of trip me up anyway, and it's probably my failing when I'm tripping over 1,000 consonants in a row and I have no idea how to pronounce it. You know.
Yeah, and I think that was my main struggle, was I just kept looking at these words like, what are you? Like, what the fuck is this unicorn's name?
Ukulele.
No, it's Lala Lilu whatever from Metal Gear Solid.
Listen,
The last time I read it, I was like, it must be Lala Lilu blah something or others. Because, like, just... And this is the thing in fantasy, though. Like, names are always terrible. And it's
true.
probably why I don't read fantasy books, because the naming conventions are horrible, and they drive me up a wall. Like, it makes me unable to engage. Whereas, like, Game of Thrones, I'm have no issue. But I think it's the nickname thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he has a million characters, but also each chapter is just titled the name of the character. And this is so, I feel like I'm so dumb I can't follow a book. But these things really helped when I was reading Martin, because I've never been a big fantasy fan either, I think for the same reason. And having that little guide, now we're talking about this character, okay, I know where I am.
Yeah, I needed that because, all of a sudden we'd be talking about Icy and, Turn, yeah, I was, trying to remember, I was it's a T name. And, them I could keep straight for because they had easy names. But everyone else, I was who? What?
Well, and Icy's name is actually some other, ridiculous thing.
Indomitable Courteous Fist.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And I actually liked every character I liked. I liked all the characters.
So far, I don't dislike any, like I said, besides the Pivik or whatever, that dude, the warden guy, he's obnoxious.
The Justicar?
Yeah, and the Justicar dude is obnoxious. But I feel like they probably aren't as bad later on. I don't know.
They're not. They're awesome.
Yeah. You're biased, but okay.
I read the whole book. I could say this. So.
It's
I know.
true.
I'm going to finish it later.
Pivik becomes different later.
Okay.
More awesome.
Mm-hmm. Much more. Although I felt like it took a little long for him to get awesome. I wanted him to get awesome a little faster.
No, it's like skiing where you have to work really hard to get to the top of the hill, and then it's straight down.
Dude,
it is like that.
Yeah, you don't have to work.
That is this book, because
and you
guys said it was 50%.
Have you ever been skiing? Come on.
Do you know where I live?
In the desert.
Yeah, you go up, you sit on a chair, and it takes you up to the top. This is a rich people sport. You don't work.
Is it tedious, though? Not that I'm saying it was tedious, but...
No.
It's sitting tedious?
I feel like suiting up to go skiing is tedious.
It's cold.
Guys.
It sounds miserable.
It's delightful. You go up, and then you go down, and then you go into the chalet and have hot chocolate and bourbon, and it's delightful.
Why do you have to destroy my metaphor?
Why do you have to have such a crappy metaphor?
All right. Let's go to the next question.
All right, Val, what did you think of the book?
I just have to say, I know, I was very early, I only got a couple chapters, but I don't read fantasy very often either for the exact same reasons that some other people mentioned, the name conventions just drive me crazy, in terms of people and places and things. I just can't keep track. And I had that same problem with that other one that we read with the Nazis and the super people.
Totally.
I started listening to the audiobook for that one, and then I just couldn't get a grasp on it, so I actually had to read that one. And then I took the same tactic with this book, just preemptively. I listened to a sample of the audio on Audible, and the narrator was kind of not my favorite. She was a little, I don't know, dry for the sample. I mean, it's just a sample. So I was I'm just going to read this book instead. And that was my biggest downfall for this month, was because I listen to books while I'm doing chores or mindless things, and I just didn't have time to sit and read it in bed like I plan to every night. So, but yeah. I'm sure if I could get past the name things, I'm the characters were interesting enough. I'm oh yeah, awesome female character, cool. But then outside of that, I didn't get very far. So.
Yeah, I do read a lot of fantasy, and I also, for a while, majored in Russian literature, so I was used to names that I could not pronounce appearing over and over again.
I agree that a pronunciation guide for fantasy novels is a must for us dumb folk. But or if I could just have a Word document and then replace all of this with George, and that would be good.
That's actually a thing. There is actually a thing called Russian novel syndrome, where you just have to replace the crazy long names with Bob and George and whatever to get through it.
That's brilliant.
What is this?
But other than that, yeah, I don't have any insight on whether the book was good or bad, because I don't feel like I gave it far enough. I didn't get far enough to give a reasonable review.
Belle, do you have any feels about this book that you want to share?
Besides my perfectly good skiing metaphor that you destroyed?
Yes. Besides that terrible metaphor, yes.
I'm just going to sit over here and wallow in my bitterness for a minute.
We'll wait.
I hate you so much. No, I liked it. I thought it was fun. I had trouble from what I remember, I had trouble with keeping the characters straight and figuring, because there's what, like 9 main characters. It's very like Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's 9 characters, and it does kind of hop from here's this character, and over here here's this character, and you don't know at first whether it's a main character or a minor character. You don't know how they're relevant, and then it all comes together at Wedded Tavern, right? Which is cool, but until then, it's like, is this person important? Why are they important? How does this fit together? Who the hell are they? It feels a little bit fractured, and it's hard to put together and to keep the characters straight. And then when that does happen, it gets really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, the party at the end is like when I got to that point, I couldn't put it down.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, then I was in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this is awesome. And then there's just like stuff just kept flying out of left field and stuff that, like, he does not pull punches with bad shit happening to his characters, which I really like. It just took a really long time to get there. And then once we were there, I was like, oh, this is great. This is kind of writing I can get into. Like, this is fun. I like it when people, like, die horribly. So
yeah, I went back and forth between being like, I'm super mad. Oh, no, I'm all right. No, fuck.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm okay again. Like,
yeah, that was fun. It was like a little roller coaster fun at the end there, I thought.
Or a little bit like skiing, maybe?
A little bit like skiing, but only the downhill part.
Like moguls, where you go up and down. It's kind of bumpy.
Yeah, totally.
I knew it would come together.
Good job.
You're welcome.
I'm not thanking you.
You're welcome.
No.
You're welcome.
No.
This is fun.
You're welcome.
I hate you so much.
I know. You're so nice.
Flames on the side of my face.
So yes, if Patrick wanted to give us a pronunciation guide, I would be eternally grateful.
Yeah,
He should do
Patrick would
that, like,
love that.
you know, this week, so then I could just read that and finish the book.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be Patrick the link, so he can just jump right in here and give us a pronunciation guide right now.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. Please come tell us how to pronounce these
He might come
words
do it.
right now.
I'd like him to speak some of the Hammer's phrases that the Hammer speaks
Right.
as well, so that I know what those are supposed to sound
Because
like.
it was just Fahugagog and
Did anyone else just like imagine Thor's hammer?
Yeah.
Like that's all I was
Yes,
seeing
absolutely.
was Mulzorn or whatever.
Yeah,
100%
if you ask
meow,
Thor's
meow.
hammer. Thor's hammer for me is meow meow. That's,
Yeah, meow meow.
yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, meow meow. That's all I
Yeah.
kept seeing was meow
Yeah.
meow, and I was like, "This is adorable." That meow meow's another book.
I love
Trouble
sentient objects in books. It's one of my favorite
Yes.
book things, so that was fun. I enjoyed that.
I do like the hammer. I did. That is one thing that I've been enjoying is the hammer and the Death Priestess.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Finish the
Very
book and
cool.
you will have feels about the hammer. For serious.
Yes, and the Death Priestess.
And the Death Priestess.
She gets
okay.
Does
interesting.
anybody else picture Liliana?
Yes.
Death Priestess? Yeah, a little bit.
For when she's not Death Priestessy, yes.
Yeah, like total
Yeah.
Liliana.
Yeah,
Well, and
absolutely.
her backstory kind of matches too.
Is she a redhead or is that just in my head?
She's Auburn. Yeah.
She's Liliana.
Yeah. Pretty much. I'm fine with that.
So good. Yeah. That is the best thing about this book, in my opinion. The character development was out of this world. Out of this world. When I got to the end, I was like, oh my god, all these people are so interesting. This is awesome. I really appreciated everybody's backstory got tied in and was interesting. The only one that I felt a little light on was the unicorn. I wanted more.
You don't need a backstory for the unicorn that has sex with children.
It's
Not children.
Virgins. God.
Young adults.
Come on. They're virgins.
Very young adults who are very innocent
Yeah.
in the ways of
Yeah,
the world.
super young adults. Like
All of that,
we're
the
stretching
virgin
it there.
is Dairy. Can we talk
That's what
about
she
that?
said.
That the virgin's name is Dairy? Like, seriously?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dairy is
Seriously, Patrick? Come on.
I'll be right back. I have to go let my dogs out. I'm going to murder them. Continue.
What the hell is up with your dog?
I don't know. They're being dumb.
It's how you raise them.
It's how I raised them.
Yes.
Yeah, dairy. I mean, I'm guessing wasn't it because he was like found in a dairy barn or something? I don't know.
He becomes more awesome, and it's amazing.
Okay. Well, you keep saying everyone becomes more. I apparently just have to get to
They
fucking
all
like
become more
halfway
awesome. Yeah.
and then be like, sweet, this book's awesome, and just finish it. But 20% to halfway. It's really far away right now.
You can do it, Iz. I have faith in you.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, let's jump into our questions. So,
Yeah.
Yay.
race in The Palace Job. What do you guys think of how that was handled? Patrick being a white dude talking about black people.
I thought it was actually pretty interesting. It definitely wasn't like overly offensive. I mean, we're a bunch of white people talking about it, so.
Let's hear you're totally relevant.
Native American, so there's that.
That does not count.
But I do think it was handled well, and I understood what they were referring to in ways, like with them being a different race, without it being like blatant, like their skin color's this or that, or, you know, the creamy this color type stuff. If
Well,
that
and I
makes
appreciated
sense.
that he called out the racism too. As you go on, you can see people have very specific opinions, and they speak them. But it's not. It doesn't feel like a message novel. It just feels like part of the story.
Wait,
So-
Patrick just tweeted me a pronunciation guide.
For real?
Yeah!
Amazing,
Patrick, you're
amazing.
the best. It's Ululinia for the unicorn and Gilspur.
I was
Thank you,
close.
Gilspur.
Gilspur. So Gish Wishes was pretty close.
No,
Dish Wishes is pretty close. And also ukulele.
you got the first letter
I know.
right.
I didn't think it was actually close. Thank you.
I also like that the racism wasn't just confined to, I have no idea how to pronounce it, but the black people. There was also racism against Icy being an
Yes.
imperial, and also later in the book against the magical creatures, too.
I have to say, just like to interject, that even though I haven't finished this book, listening to you guys talk about it really makes me want to finish it. Like,
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I thought for the short amount of time he had, he did work in a lot of like political intrigue and a lot of a good idea of how the world works, which most fantasy novels are easily triple or quadruple this long. So for him to have put in this much backstory and this much world into such a short time it's really snappy, and it doesn't pull it down. And if I can jump ahead to the puppet thing, because that's
Yeah,
another way
do
that
it.
he did that.
Do it.
There are these little interjections with these puppets that I wish they had been separate or somehow made clear that it was a separate part, because the first time it happened I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Yes, I was like, what?
Like, what
Puppets
am I looking
suddenly?
at?
What the fuck?
Yeah, like I would have liked a little more division or clarity, but once I figured it out, I was like, okay, so they were like the mouthpieces of what's going on politically in the world, and like the corrupt government would be one, and the other one would be like the voice of the people, but kind of skewed, and the corrupt government would like always win, and it was really clever. And I thought really well done way to give me the political environment without going on and on for George R. R. Martin number of pages about it. So that I thought was really great.
is it like the Ravens but better?
It
Much
is a
better
lot
than
like the
the
Ravens.
Ravens.
Yeah,
Much better,
much
than,
better
the
than the
Ravens.
Ravens.
Much better than the Ravens, yes.
Yeah, the Ravens were just unnecessary. This definitely had purpose as soon as I figured out what that was.
Gives you a really good view of like the climate politically in that world. And
Yeah.
when I figured that out, I was like, this is cool to get this little input through that. But
Yeah.
God, this book. I want to like it so badly. Like, you guys don't understand how much.
Get halfway and you'll be there.
Yeah.
I know.
You have to get up to the city and into the uncle's house, and then it just from there is like bam, then you're in, and it's interesting and fun. It's just the setup is kind of a struggle.
Yeah.
But yeah, the puppet, I thought that's a really clever way to do it, and I was very impressed by how much I understand about the world coming away from that book, despite its not endless length like most fantasy novels.
Yeah, I was really excited about how much you learn about the parties, the skilled and the learned, which he never really explicitly talks about what the differences between those two parties are, but you get it from like the griffin and the manticore and the dragon in the puppet show, which I really liked. Like, none of us are stupid. I like that he didn't condescend to his readers with that stuff.
Totally
Now
agree.
stop tweeting.
Busted.
I'm
You
not
know you're on
tweeting. People
camera,
are tweeting
right?
at me. They're tweeting at me. I'm not.
That wasn't me.
Oh, I said Belle, not Mel. Sorry.
Oh.
And see, it wasn't even me.
Dude, it was totally you. I'm getting those tweets on my phone. It's fine.
I tweeted at you like once.
You guys are arguing on Twitter right now. I saw it.
Mine's on
It's a
mute,
multimedia presentation,
You're,
guys.
you love trolling each other.
I know, it's amazing.
And I gave
Multimedia.
up. All I have left is passive-aggressive hatred.
This is how the kids do it.
And
these
Colin.
I do have Colin.
I mean, Macklemore.
Hey, shh.
You have Macklemore. It's fine.
I hate you so much. That's just so much.
Macklemore. What, Mel?
All right, we'll move on.
All right, questions. Let's do this.
Yeah, so one of my favorite characters was Kale, and I loved the mama joke trope thingy with him. It killed me. It killed me every time. I loved it.
He was funny.
Kale was, and then Derry using the mama joke at the end and then not getting it. It was so good.
Yes. Yeah.
I loved it. I love every part of that, Patrick.
Just
That was
everybody
amazing.
mentoring Derry and how he would get it totally wrong was
Yes.
absolutely delightful.
I loved it.
He would just wind up bumbling it. But you said, you know,
Right.
like,
That's
no,
not
no,
right, Mr. Kale.
not like that. You know? Derry's character, that they all were.
Mm-hmm.
They are like, even though I'm not like super, I'm not far enough in to like be super interested yet, like and engaged. I have like the only reason I've kept going is the characters. So
They get
that
better
says
too.
a lot because usually I'm like, yeah, fuck this shit. If at 30%, I'm not interested. Then you guys keep saying it gets better, so.
It's so good.
There's all this
Right.
backstory that you get that you don't have right now about every one of those characters. That's
Yeah.
just like awesome reveals.
So,
Yeah.
next on the list, we've got the female characters. What do you guys, like, do you feel like Patrick did a good job avoiding the normal pitfalls, tropes, and all that
Yeah,
stuff?
I'm super excited that Locke was not a strong female character TM. Like, she was a person who does some stupid shit and makes mistakes but is still awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Her defining characteristic was not that she was strong or female.
Yeah,
I
I
really
noticed
enjoyed
that
her.
immediately
Yeah.
in the book when you meet her. Like, she was a person, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, cool, this is awesome, because in a lot of fantasy stuff, I always feel like women are just there.
Right, they're sexy
Unfortunately.
lamps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I like that that her backstory was rich and what happened to her was deeply fucked up. And the other female character that you probably haven't run into yet is her sister, which by
Love
the
that.
end of that, I was like, oh my fucking god, I did not see that shit coming.
I love that at first, like, her Neria is at first just this, like, typical fantasy female character.
Yes, with her like
she's a total
blind
fucking
thing.
badass by the end.
Yeah.
She's got crystal eyes? No, she's awesome. She'll
Yeah.
murder you.
Yeah. That was such a great flip-flop thing. Like,
I love
it
it.
was amazing.
I love
Because she'd think of her as a damsel in distress. She's going in to rescue her. And even by the time you get there, Locke's like, yeah, no.
No. Oh,
That's not why I'm here.
fell for it. That's adorable. Yeah.
Freaking fantastic. And that she had, like, anticipated that and was on top of it. Like, I tell you, the end of that book was just a delight. Like, punches just kept happening, you know?
And the fight scenes are really well written. Normally I just skip over that crap because you're like, what? That is not a thing that could happen. People don't fight like that.
No, it was good.
Yeah.
It was good. And all the women, the thing is, every woman was different. It wasn't just, these are ladies. You know, they have boobs. They all had very different characteristics, very different qualities to them. You know, they weren't all pining away for men like you so often see in fantasy novels, I feel like.
So very well, like, all of his characters are very well developed and fleshed out. I feel like you're not getting a lot of that excess, like, just dumbness that makes a fantasy novel 1,000 pages.
Yeah. Also, like, Turn was awesome, but she was awesome not in a conventionally female way. She's, like, shooting her crossbow off, and she's doing science crap, and she's tinkering away. And she's not, you know, tall, skinny, and large-bosomed, which I appreciated.
Well, and like the Death Priestess lady wasn't just that. She wasn't like super devout paladin, don't fuck with her kind of person. Although paladin's probably not a good word for a
Well,
death
she is also a love priestess, right?
Yeah,
So
she
there's,
has
like,
this
cool
whole
dichotomy.
other side to
Yeah.
her that's like, I don't want to fucking be doing this. This is like, you know what I mean? Like,
She was
it
probably
was-
pissed she got stuck with his stupid ass hammer that keeps
She's-
talking to her.
She's super pissed about the Death Priestess thing, guys.
Yeah, like she's not
happy
thrilled
about
to have
that.
to do that stuff. She's not like most paladin type characters you see are all like duty and honor, and they're kind of douchey. And she was like, no, this is bullshit. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be doing this. My
Yeah.
destiny sucks. You know, I really like that.
Yeah.
Very
Well, I like
good.
that, and too, even when she did bad stuff, it was not, now she's a terrible person and she's irredeemable and oh my god,
Mhm. Mhm.
children weeping.
Mhm. Totally. Good.
I liked it.
Very good.
Awesome. So now we've talked about the ladies who are awesome. What about the villains? Did they feel as fleshed out as the protagonists did?
So far for me,
The Glimmering Man and Celestin.
And the hunter.
Well, Pivik wasn't really a bad guy, though.
No, not that
but
guy.
where I'm at, they're kind of a bad guy. Like,
Spoiler alert. Not
Yeah.
a bad guy.
I know, but like in the beginning of the book, they kind of
Yeah.
are. So you're just kind of like, this is dumb. They're
Well, and I
dumb.
like that too. Like at first you're like, "What a douche, Pivik! What are you doing?"
Mhm.
But then he inverts that too, and Pivik
Well, it
becomes
was like
awesome.
his personality stayed the same, and he really had a good vision of what justice and rightness would be. And when he saw like what's happening is not just, he went for the way. You know, it was very true to his character, but just happened to flip flop the sides. A little
I'm
bit.
very interested to get to that point now.
Yeah.
To see that happen because right now I'm just like so annoyed with him.
He becomes
and-
awesome.
Yeah.
Much
Promise.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, much better. What about the Glimmering Man, though? I didn't feel like I got enough. I will say that. I wanted more of the evil.
Him and the secretary guy too. I wanted more of his glowing peep.
Yeah, yeah, and the assassin ladies,
Yeah.
like, we didn't get nearly enough with
Way
them.
more of those. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have loved a whole long amount of assassin ladies, including the sister.
Patrick.
That was a huge reveal,
Yeah.
but I, like, wanted more. I was like,
Yeah.
what? You know? So I could have definitely used more villains.
Right? I wanted to be like, dude, they're supposed to be the second and third best assassins in the land.
Mm-hmm.
And Locke's just like, no.
Yeah. Or now.
I wanted more of a fight.
Yeah, totally agree. Or so, like, yeah, I mean, but there was so much threat already happening that if he had
Yeah.
added much more, I probably would have been really upset.
I've been over it.
Yeah, but I
Okay.
did want more fleshy villains.
Spin off with the assassins. Patrick, go.
To writing.
Get
I'd
on
read
it,
that.
Patrick. Stop
I'd
writing
read an
dragons.
all-assassin novel with the sister in the lead. Would read.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even
10 out of
there
10
yet, and I
read.
would read this.
10 out of 10
So
would read again. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, would read. Maybe you could give them nicknames. Just a thought. Or perhaps I will. I'll just go through with my little pen
Yeah.
and fix it for my own stupid brain.
Right.
What do you think, villains?
I read the book 2 years ago.
You don't remember the villains?
I remember them, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Did you like them?
I felt like they weren't, from what I recall, I felt like there wasn't as much depth to them as there were to the heroes, and that they were a little bit, from what I remember, like, not enough good.
Mm. They didn't
Yeah.
have that three-dimensional quality.
Right,
that the
they didn't
heroes
have
did.
any redeeming qualities.
Well,
But I could
feel
be wrong.
No, I think you're right.
No, I think you're right. I feel like Celestin, Patrick tried to do that with him with the fight with Locke by the cleaners.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't. I would have liked more of that. More of him really feeling like he was doing this for the Republic.
Yeah, some kind of motivation on their end, because the Glimmering Man too was just kind of evil.
Well,
And I get his main motivation, but it would have been nice to have like more of that a little bit. For
also
sure.
trilogy. So
Yeah, true. There may be more of that in
Yeah.
other books that I have not read. Hopefully there's more Imperials too, because I really liked Icy.
yeah, I would follow I would read an Icy Turn buddy comedy book.
Totally.
Super hard.
Totally. Good. All right.
All right. I'm super mad about this question. Isabel's opinions, issues, torn feelings.
I've already kind of
that
done
song,
this, so.
The torn song.
I already did this, though. Like, we already went over my issues.
Good.
Yeah.
God damn it, is.
So you're not gonna
You're
sing that?
welcome.
You're not gonna sing the torn song?
Yeah, could you sing the torn song for us since you've gotten it all stuck in our heads? Thanks.
I don't even remember the words.
Liar! You're such a liar!
Everybody
Amelia
knows the
does.
words. I do. I'm not even ashamed. Whatever. I listen to chick music, and I
sing
like it.
Well, Natalie and Julia. That's right.
No singing from me. Trust me.
Sing it.
No, y'all
Sing
will.
it.
No.
I will bring up my other question that I put up. It's not really a question, it's just a statement. I noticed, like, as I was reading through on the Kindle, a lot of the really, like, when you read on Kindle, you'll get the highlights that people do sometimes.
Oh yeah.
And I
Those are good.
forgot to, sometimes, like, I leave them on because
weird.
sometimes they're fucking hilarious.
Yeah, sometimes you're like, what? Seriously, guys? Like, what?
But in this book, I'm like, yeah, no, good call, people. Good job.
I found myself in this book and the next one tweeting a lot of the lines out because you can do that in the Kindle. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm,
But yeah, I had a couple moments of like, yeah, no, that was a good pick. Good pick.
Good one. Good job, randos on the internet.
Random internet commenter.
Good job.
Gosh, can you imagine being the author and going through those? Like,
Has Patrick done this, or is he going to now?
I don't know that I would if it was me. I would be like, I don't want to know.
I would
No,
cry.
like everything I saw quoted in this one though, I was like, yeah, no, those were good lines. Like they were usually the just the fast, like funny lines, and I was like, yeah, good job.
Yeah, dialogue was awesome.
Mhm.
It is like
All of it. Highlight all of it.
Mhm. At some point, I started to hear the like Dragon Age, Mass Effect sort of rhythm in the dialogue, and I was like, "Oh, I recognize this."
Okay.
You know, it was good though,
It was excellent.
in a good way.
Yeah,
Definitely a good way.
in the best way. Okay, so we answered that one. So, my excellent angry bourbon question from last night is yay plot or boo plot? Did you see the twists coming?
I guess
I'm
that's
just gonna
definitely-
gloss over and fog.
yeah, I was like, I have no input there. Yeah.
Some. I mean, like the dairy thing was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
I didn't know
You
what
knew-
he was gonna be,
But
but
you knew it was going to be something because it kept talking about the birthmark
yes,
and the
yeah,
prophecy. Whoa.
yeah.
So basically, it was the twists that were clearly telegraphed because he wanted,
Yeah, it was.
Well,
It
yeah,
was telegraphed.
Yeah, those
for
were
sure.
obvious. Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
but the ones that weren't,
The sister, I did not see coming
no.
Yeah.
at all.
And I felt like they didn't come out of nowhere either, though. Like there was foreshadowing, but you didn't catch it.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it was like, what? Like the Deathly Hallows, where you're like, what? You could have mentioned this 7 books ago? Yeah, it wasn't like that.
It wasn't
yeah.
just like plugged in at the last second.
Right. Still bugs me.
Right.
I want to call J.K. Rowling and be like, hey,
Like, dude,
foreshadow a tiny bit more.
you clearly just thought about this like a year ago and decided to add it into the book. Don't even pretend like you didn't.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
how I felt about it. But that was not how any of the twists
No.
felt. Even like the creepy shadow follower person who turned out to be the sister, like that had been shown all along, but we just didn't know who it was. It was brilliant.
That was
Absolutely
amazing.
brilliant.
That
Yeah,
was amazing.
loved
So
that.
excited about that. Yeah.
Loved that. Loved the hunter who was killing all the magical creatures just basically to be a douchebag, and how he was like, he kept throwing a wrench into every plan.
Yeah. And the secretary too, like how he didn't want his name to be known, and then how he ended up being a weird goat penis man.
Oh yeah, I did not see that coming either.
Yeah.
I
That was
zoned
clever.
out for a minute, and I just heard weird goat penis man, and I'm like,
See, you don't know what you're missing at the
See?
end of this
You know what
book.
you're missing. Rainbow penises are coming.
Yeah, rainbow
That's what she said.
magic penises.
Right.
look,
All night
coming.
long.
I already
Right?
had a unicorn attempting to seduce a child.
Like
He's
he's not
the-
a child.
He's
He's
of
a
age.
He's not a
child.
child.
He is of age of consent.
That's right.
How
He's
old is
just-
Derry?
Like 19.
Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I don't
just
know.
made that up.
Every time I read him, I feel like he's 12. Like his
He's
life.
very innocent to the
He's
ways of the world.
He's Carrot.
He's Carrot. Yes. But Carrot gets married.
He doesn't get married.
Oh, Carrot doesn't get married?
No, he bones, but I don't think they
there
get
you go.
married.
He bones. Carrot bones.
Barry does not bone in this book.
No.
Yeah, there doesn't. Is there any boning in this book?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like explicit, but they pretty much hook up.
It's not like pancake sex, guys. So if that's what
It's
you're looking
not.
for.
Damn it!
There's a fade to black.
Yeah.
A fade to black, as it were.
There's no feeding pancakes and also doinking.
What the hell did you guys read?
Welp. You missed out.
I still maintain that she has not eaten or had sex before because
No.
those two things
Not
can't happen at the same time.
Like, he was shoving whole
can't
pancakes.
Like whole,
Like
big,
whole
not like
pancakes.
whole
Pancakes.
making the toaster.
No.
No,
Like, all
real
pancakes.
pancakes with maple
And
syrup and
slices
shit.
of jam.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
good. Not
No.
good.
Messy.
Fucking
And yeast
terrible.
infection.
So many
Like-
things.
Like, you're going to get syrup where you don't want syrup, and then you're going to have to go to the doctor and explain
Yeast
it. and it's gonna be awkward.
infection and gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was bad. It was
So why are you here today?
really terrible sex scene. That's
Yeah.
why Pancake Sex Book Club.
Oh, boy.
That's right. That's why I
Because it's
did.
a really terrible book club with a lot of yeast infections.
Listen, we do not have yeast infections, Belle.
Oh, someone's protesting an awful lot.
Well, none of us have pancake sex like that, so
Well,
we don't have that. Well, most
You
of
have
us.
to try it before you can say it's not possible.
I feel like you would choke and die. Like,
You would.
I feel like that's what
You would.
happened.
But none of you tried it for science.
Well, I'm not a
Belle,
werewolf.
go ahead and try it for science for us and report that.
Part of it was her werewolf jaws could like just eat the food super fast.
Would you have to have someone like read the page to you from
Okay,
outside
okay.
the door so that while the
Like,
kids
get
are
set up.
there, like,
Yeah, it's so bueno, guys. So good.
You know what's gonna be great isn't that this season Bitten maybe will have pancake sex?
Oh, I will start watching it if they film that thing. I want to see the logistics of pancake sex.
Hell, yes, I
Yeah.
want to see that.
I doubt it's gonna happen, but we can hope.
Damn it.
We'll do a
Are they
change.org
gonna do the
petition.
compound in this season? Are they gonna do the compound and everything? Do you know, Mel?
I have no idea. I know that they have like, no, they've just like done teaser posters, so I don't know anything at all. Yeah.
Just the abs. All you've seen are the abs.
like I
so
see
far.
that Paige is supposed to be in it, but I
Oh,
don't know
no.
what context.
You guys hate Paige. I am
I
a
hate her so
Paige
much.
fan.
I
I
know.
don't hate her.
You would be.
You're so contrary.
I know. I know, it's shocking, right? You guys hate her? I think she's awesome.
Oh no. All right. Do we have any more questions for this
We
one?
have one more.
It's mine.
Oh, right. Obviously. Did we like the romance element? Why does Unicorn love young, weird virgin boys?
because she's
I
a
was
unicorn.
gonna say,
Grammar. All I have to
It's
say to
the
that is
unicorn thing.
grammar. Amelia, grammar.
if there's unicorn love,
Totally
I just have to
me.
say that's not an original idea because Sailor Moon. Just saying.
I know,
Well,
right?
all unicorns love virgins, right? That's normal.
That's
a
a
legend.
thing. That's a thing.
I don't know if they love them carnally in
Yeah.
most legends.
Then why does
I
it
mean-
matter? Like, why would a unicorn care about virginity or lack
Well,
thereof?
because then purity, and then they can touch their pure white horn or some shit. I don't know.
But that's
Yeah,
stupid,
that's-
because
it's
purity
this
does not come
purity
from lack
thing.
of sex.
Well, in these stories, I believe it does.
Those stories are stupid.
Agreed.
Maybe it's not so much maybe the whole point of the unicorn is to introduce sex to virgins in a positive way.
She
I
was
mean,
pretty
she
aggressive.
did have sex with an ogre. Like,
She did.
That was hot. Guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hot.
2 dudes
But it's like
in
her
1
entire-
hour.
Yeah.
her entire purpose as an entity, right, is to deflower.
Yeah.
And then reflower by growing flowers everywhere she goes. Awesome.
No.
So maybe she's really just like a spirit of nature.
She
Just,
is a spirit of nature.
Regrowing the forests and shit.
She's awfully aggressive, is all I'm saying. She's an
He's
aggressive
just like a
spirit. of nature.
nicer goat dude,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Yeah, she was almost like succubus-y intense
Yeah.
with dairy.
Yeah.
at
But
times.
not like that shitty succubus that we read about.
Yes, not that one. I forgot we read that one.
I wish I
Um,
could forget that.
Georgina Kincaid series, right? Succubus
Yeah.
Blues.
Succubus Blues.
Yeah.
Yet
Yeah.
another one I picked that Ness hated.
I hated every book so far except for this one.
Well, good. Good. It's a challenge. It's what will Ness like?
No, I think it's how much will Ness hate this book. I think that's
Yes.
now the
We have to have one person that usually doesn't like a book, though. Otherwise, it wouldn't be interesting.
It's true. It's always me. I'm like, guys.
It'd be boring if we all liked it.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. But what about the romance between Pivik and Locke?
And
Did
Locke?
you like it?
I kind of wanted to read some fan fiction about it. I won't lie.
Yeah, it was way hotter in my head than it was on
Yeah.
the page.
Yeah, it was super hot up here.
Yeah, I wanted more of that.
Yeah, Patrick, we want more of that.
It was a sweet little seduction that was believable, but I wanted like a little more hotness.
Yeah, a lot more hotness.
Yeah, but it's a personal preference as much as anything. Believable though?
Ish.
What did you think?
I mean, I've never been pursued by the law before. I don't know if I would fall for the the dude that was trying to put me in jail.
See, Ness doesn't care what I think.
I don't,
I know.
It's true.
because you're nice.
I do though. I'm curious what you think.
I feel like the tone of the novel in general is pretty light. So I feel like the lack of like a hot and heavy sex scene was not really a lack so much as it fit into the feeling of the narrative.
I mean, yeah, it definitely fit with the book. We're called the Pancake Sex Book Club. We want sex.
So write it.
That's what fan fiction is for, guys.
Right, so do it.
True.
Stop whining and act.
I wonder if there's any.
Listen, I will
fan
edit
fiction
that.
for this book.
I will edit that fan fiction.
She can write it. She writes porn all the time.
All the time. Every day.
Every day.
I will write it. I will edit it. Done.
Write some just a car porn. Yeah.
Write it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Write it,
do
she
the
will
law.
come.
Do the law on me.
I'm
I'm kidding. No,
really proud of myself right now.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one.
This is like, no, guys.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay then.
I will say, sadly, the only complaint I have about this book is that the Kindle version was really poorly edited. There were a lot of typos.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. There were a lot of typos.
That is
and-
really frustrating when that happens.
It really pulls me out of a book because of my job.
And that's not the author's fault at
no,
all.
not
That
at
has
all. No.
Everything to do with the publishing side.
That's
not
why
the
I
bullshit.
wonder if in the physical copy if there's like breaks more so between the characters.
Mhm.
Yeah, the physical copy
Mhm.
makes more sense than does the Kindle version.
See, that would have been nice. That could be part of it is formatting
Yeah.
in the Kindle version could have been
Yeah.
off. Which
Like,
does make a
Drunk
difference.
Monkey. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So, and that's totally not the author's fault.
No.
No.
That sucks.
Unless you're indie, then it's all your fault. 'Cause you-
Then we blame you completely.
yeah. Well, no, a lot of them do it themselves, so it's like you should be checking it to make sure it's good if you're indie.
You should hire Ness. She's a
You should totally
brilliant
hire me.
editor.
I have reasonable rates, guys.
Absolutely brilliant editor.
I can pay you in hatred and loathing.
That's my favorite currency.
I thought it might be. I know the way to your cold black heart.
What heart? Come on.
That withered prune in your chest.
Oh, is that what that's supposed to be?
Yeah.
She keeps it in a chest in a drawer, locked away.
Thank you.
I've read that book.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We lost Mel.
Yeah, we did a while ago.
Yeah.
He had to run. So are we good?
I think we're good.
Amelia,
Good.
talk
What are
about
we
your
gonna
book.
read? Yeah, what are we gonna read next
Oh yeah.
month?
So next time I picked as promised the filthiest Christmas
Yes.
fantasy novel erotica thing I could find that I thought
No
might
Man
actually
Erotica?
be readable. It
No
is
Man
not Man
Erotica?
Erotica this time. I almost picked upstairs downstairs male erotica.
I mean,
Maybe
I
next
would be okay with reading Dorian fanfiction erotica.
that would also be
I
delightful.
would be good with
But I
that.
picked a book called Naughty and Nice, which is a 4 short story compilation, or it's like novellas. One of them written by one of my favorite erotica authors, Megan Hart. She doesn't just write erotica; she writes all kinds of stuff, fantasy, romance, like urban gritty fantasy stuff like that. And she's great. She's a great writer. So I'll read pretty much anything she writes. So I'm pretty excited. I picked something that I thought would be both filthy and easy to read and light and possibly hilarious, but then also possibly good. That was my plan.
That's the dream right there.
Right?
That's the dream.
So.
But yeah, it has Stacy something or other in the title.
Stacey Shannon.
Yeah, Stacy Shannon. If you Amazon search it, so just
Shannon Stacy.
Don't just Amazon Naughty and Nice. You will not.
Yeah, no.
you will regret your choices.
Maybe you will be happy about that. I don't want to.
And like Holiday Sparks is one of the short stories in it. So
yeah. The author that I really like is named Megan Hart, Hart, and if you Google Naughty and Nice and her, it'll come up.
Thanks, Belle.
Someone didn't turn their phone on, as usual. So yeah, that's for next time. I don't know when that will be. Hopefully we'll reorganize maybe sometime in January.
2015.
early
Yeah,
January 2015.
Yeah, 2015. A whole new year.
Not as late as this one, hopefully.
Hopefully. Holidays are such a hard time to organize, but this was fun.
All right.
Fun.
Thank you for watching, everybody, and
Now
that's
let's
it.
all go back to Dragon Age.
Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't even started it yet, so you know.
What?
What?
You know.
No.
I know.
I'm on my third
at all?
I have it. It's sitting there.
playthrough.
What is wrong with you?
Right?
I don't have the time right now.
Dude, I
And
went
I know
without
as soon as I
sleep
started,
for a
I
week.
won't do anything
Yeah.
else.
That's what I did. I just
So-
didn't
Yeah.
sleep.
Yeah, my family did not see me at all. I was
Yeah.
like, dinner, you figure it out, chumps. Dragon Age.
Right?
Yeah.
Gotta bone some sexy dudes.
Yes.
I'm
That's
gonna
big,
start
giant foreign
and
dude.
maybe
Not
tomorrow,
Cullen, no,
actually.
ever. Not Cullen, ever.
Mhm.
I hate you so much, Ness. Just so much.
There is
Macklemore.
incentive
Just
for you,
Macklemore.
Isabel. There is